Frustration is a good way to start our topic today. Because all of you, as you get into organizations and you start working for an organization, company, manufacturing, whatever it may be, are going to be change agents. That's what we do. We improve processes. We improve things, right? So frustration is going to creep up on you significantly in that role because people don't like change. Organizations don't like change. The people in organizations don't like change. Therefore, if you're the change agent, you're going to be in the crosshairs of everybody who's got frustration going on. So we're going to try to talk about some of that today. I'm going to give you some tools that we've used in the past to help do some of this. So about 15 years ago, a friend of mine, a professor at University of Alabama in Huntsville, gave me this paper when I was frustrated with change. One time said, "Go read this paper." I said, "This is a 1972 paper. Why do I want to read a 1972 paper in 2000?" And she said, "Read it. You'll understand." So this guy named Greener had an article in the Harvard Business Review talking about organizational change. And his position was there are two types of change. There's evolutionary change and there's revolutionary change. And his main thesis throughout this article was that as a company progresses in evolutionary change, getting incrementally better throughout it in its current systems, it reaches a point at which it will level off. And that organization has a decision to make at that time. At that point, evolutionary change is not going to get you any better. You've got to do something revolutionary to make it to the next level. Now think about this. If you're a company just starting out, a couple of people have an idea, want to make products, do you need a manufacturing execution system? Let's say you've got a little product, you got 2 people and 3 mills, and you know how to run it, and you can make all of them yourself. Do you really need a manufacturing execution system? Do you need a scheduling system, automated? No, you can do that on an Excel spreadsheet or on a piece of paper, right? At some point, growth is going to get you to where that's no longer valid, right? If you're successful, you're going to continue to grow, and as you grow, things are going to get more complicated because now you've got more materials you have to buy, you have less time to make each of the parts, you need more equipment, all of those things. So as you progress from a startup into a successful organization or company, you got to make some significant changes, revolutionary technological changes, to be able to move to the next level of performance. And that was Greener's whole thesis in this article was this. And he was talking specifically about organizational change. But as I started using this idea or looking at this idea, I realized this affects all types of change, all types of systems. And being a systems engineer, that's what I was looking at. How do I apply this thinking to other systems that I might be involved with? So his point was that regardless of whether you're a low growth, medium growth, or high growth company, you're going to experience evolutionary change, the incremental stuff that we do. But at some point, you have to have that transformational technological change that's going to make a difference. The difference is in a low growth, you're not going to see as many of those revolutionary change moments. In a high growth, you're going to see a lot of revolutionary change moments. Okay, so keep this in mind as we talk about the rest of what we're going to talk about today. So change. This is an actual quote from an auto supplier supervisor in the state of Alabama. "I've learned 3 things about new programs. Never oppose them, you'll get fired. Never do any work on them. In 3 months, you'll never hear about them again. I've been here 23 years, and I've seen 23 of these things come and 23 of them go." This is the person out on the floor that you're asking to implement change in a system. And that's their outlook in life. If I just wait long enough, it'll go away. Okay? So as you go to implement, what Tom talked about last time was how to go and implement lean, right? From his experience. And I'm going to give you some ideas, some other things that we've seen in that area also. But this is what you're up against in implementation of new ideas. So you have to figure out a way to get that person on your side for this. When you see, when we talk about resistance to change, it typically does fall into a normal curve. What we have here is, in the middle, we have what we call reasonable people. And what do I mean by reasonable people? Are we all reasonable here? Maybe, maybe not, right? But yeah, it's people who are willing to at least listen and give it a try, right? So if your focus is on implementing change, and most of the people here are reasonable, and I've got a significant number of, a number of pessimists, and I've got a number of optimists, where do I need to put my effort in making changes? The pessimist. Now, that's a typical answer. Why would I spend all of my effort on the pessimist? Am I ever going to win them over?
I mean, maybe with more effort than optimism.
If I could win them over, they'd be in the reasonable people stage, right? Yeah. But that's the typical answer that you get. The optimists are going to be out there in front of you. Yeah, let's go, right? Yeah, this is great. We're going to go make this change. You don't have to do anything to motivate the optimist, right? They see it. They're out there. They're excited. This is where you need to spend most of your time, because if you spend time here, you're going to empty your tank out pretty fast. But if you spend time here with these people, they're going to start seeing improvements. Hopefully the change you're trying to make is an improvement, and that will pull some of these people in. Now, you're never going to get all of these, right? You're never going to get all of the pessimists in there to join you in your quest for improved performance. But you can't ignore them either. You got to do something to apply. You include them in the training, you include them in all of the discussions, but you have to figure out a way to minimize their impact on the rest of the organization.